Alright guys, I am live here. Waiting for some people to join. I got here a little bit early, which is fine. I know I'm behind my desk too, and I know that's not the best place to be. People would like to have a little more of an open environment, but I am here, and I'm going to be here for the next hour. Hopefully I can help some people with life insurance or life insurance questions. Just because you hop on the live does not mean you have to get a policy from me. But I am open to answer any questions that you might have. Any questions you might have. So feel free. And I guess one of the biggest things that I have is, my passion in this is hands down making sure that the kids under 18 have parents that have life insurance. That's my biggest passion in this industry. Just because, like, when I read the obituaries every single day, every day, I read the obituaries, I read the unexpectedly passed. I read all this stuff, and it really breaks my heart. I don't get numb to it, right? No matter how many times I read it in an obituary where it says a parent unexpectedly passed. I read the obituary and I see like the kids that are left behind. That hurts. It still does. Like, it doesn't matter if I've been doing this every day for years now, going online, looking at the obituaries, and it doesn't get any better. It doesn't get any better. So I am here live, just waiting for people to hop on. This was one of the most heartbreaking ones I've seen today. I don't want to put her photo in there. I think that might be in poor taste, but 31 years old, two kids. It's really tough, right? And I do this every morning when I wake up. I check the unexpectedly passed. I check the obituaries in my local paper, the one in Charlotte, just to just to see how many parents have been lost. So that's why I do this. That is my absolute passion. I don't think it's fair to have kids lose a parent and then have those kids also watch the other parent struggle financially, right? Especially, it might seem like it's hard to get life insurance. It might seem like it's expensive, but I know it's not. It's fairly easy to get it. And granted, you can work with people that are going to try to sell you a product that's going to be like $600-700 a month. I don't do that. I try to get people what they need to take care of their families. For example, the most common one that I see is around 35 years old, and I can just show you exactly how inexpensive this is. In excellent health, and this is excellent health. This means the height, weight's good. There might have a few love handles, nothing major. Maybe they're taking one medication for something, and looking for $500,000 worth of coverage. Or let's say that they're 35 years old and they want $1 million worth of coverage, and they're in excellent health. That's a great time to get it when you're in excellent health. I can't tell you how many times I've seen parents get diagnosed with something and then they were completely excluded from the term life arena, and that's really heartbreaking. Like, if you're diagnosed with something serious and maybe there's a chance you're going to recover, or maybe it's terminal. Either way, you get diagnosed with something serious and then you worry about your kids and your family, and just to find out that you are excluded from the larger amounts of coverage. I've worked with tons of people like that. It's not a good feeling, not for me, not for the client, not for the family, but that is the reality of the situation. Is whenever you have kids, you need to get life insurance as quickly as possible and make sure that they are in fact protected. So that is what I do. Let's see, it is 12:02. I've had 173 views on my post. I'm not sure if anyone's going to show, but we'll see. I will be here until 1 a.m. Eastern. And so this is the 35-year-old male in excellent health for $1 million worth of coverage. This policy would take him all the way through to retirement. And you might be asking, why would I get a term policy if it's going to expire? Well, the reason why you get a term policy is because, like, between the ages of 35 and 65, you're going to be raising your kids. You're going to be paying off the mortgage. You're going to be building up your retirement account. And the goal of a term policy is not to need a term policy, right? So if he's got $1 million worth of coverage, then over the next 30 years, he plans on paying off the house, which is going to be, probably $1 million or 500,000 in today's market, building up the retirement account, and all of these things he's doing for his family will be taken care of by the time he retires, and he'll no longer need the $1 million in coverage. So the term is there. It lasts 30 years. So for 30 years, he's got the coverage while he needs it the most. That's what term policies are designed to do. That's why they're so inexpensive. If you were looking at, if a 35-year-old male was looking at $1 million worth of coverage for whole life or the index universal, he would probably be paying 20 times more, like $1,200 a month. That's just not feasible for most people. And also, in my opinion, that's a bad investment. The money he could save, he could save $1,138 a month by getting this. He could invest that money into a mutual fund himself and probably have more at the end of that period. So that also brings you back to, you've got to be really careful with who you work with too. Like, there are a lot of people out there, some malicious, some not. Some people just don't know any better, where they'll try to, if they don't know better, maybe they were trained to sell a certain product or talk about a certain product like it's all sunshine and roses. People invest hundreds, if not thousands of dollars a month with them, and at the end of several years, they find out that they did lose quite a bit of money. So be careful with that. You see that a lot on TikTok, on Instagram, the infinite banking, or like these massive whole life policies. I talked to a guy, I believe it was earlier this week, where he met a friend of the family, and excuse me, it was a friend of the family, and the friend of the family was selling index universal life insurance. The guy was 29 years old when he met this friend of the family, by the way. And so this guy got him a policy, I think it was like a $500,000 policy. The guy was 29, for $350 a month, right? Which is about $330 more expensive than what he would have been paying for a term policy. And he had this policy for like 2 years or 3 years, and he decided to cancel it. And when he canceled it, he found out his cash value, the money that was promised or described to him, was exactly $0, right? So that's what happens a lot of times, and maybe the guy just didn't know any better. It's possible that the guy didn't know any better, but there are people out there who do know better and they still do it. So be careful with who you work with. Just because they're a friend of the family does not mean they are an expert. My recommendation for any parent is to get a very affordable term policy that will carry them to a place of stability, to a place where the kids are out of the house, to a place where the mortgage is taken care of, to a place where their investment or retirement accounts is fully funded. That's what term policies are designed to do, right? So, but yeah, for this example, 35-year-old male, 30-year term, he's in excellent health. It's $62 a month, which is insanely inexpensive in my book. Now, the most common amount, or it has been for a few years, it has changed over the past few years due to inflation. The most common amount was around $500,000. Now most people are going around the $700,000 mark just to adjust for inflation. But typically for policies, I try to keep them around $50 a month. I don't want to, as long as it covers what needs to be covered, around $50 a month or less. Because you don't want to dread a life insurance bill. You want to say, hey, I'm paying this, $50 a month to make sure my family's good. You don't want to say that, hey, I'm paying this $200 a month. What am I buying here? So keep it affordable. This is the lowest price that you will find, more than likely. You might find a policy that is a couple cents cheaper, or at the most 50 cents, but that is about it. Like, there's 3 companies that have this level of pricing and this level of quality, and those are the only 3 that I would personally go with as far as term is concerned. There's no medical exam. Most companies don't require that unless you go over, $5 million. Like if you go over $4 or $5 million, they are going to ask you to go in to get checked out to make sure everything's good. But excluding that, no. Or if you're in your 60s and you're looking for a 20-year term, a lot of times they will require you to go in and take a physical. They'll have you go to a Quest Diagnostics or something like that, just to get your blood pressure checked, to get your blood drawn, and to make sure you are in fact healthy. So all right, so I had 218 people look at the video, or 219, and I've had 3 people like it. So hopefully, at least 1 out of the 3 people will show up and ask questions. I'm not opposed to any questions about life insurance or complaints. You can do complaints, and believe me, I've got more complaints about life insurance than anyone else. I think once you kind of work in life insurance and you look behind the scenes, not so much as the companies, right? But like, the in-betweens, like what the clients go through, that's where you really kind of lose trust in a lot of it. But that is how it is. All right. Well, I mean, I could also try to go live on here on my phone and see. Let me try it. I'm going to try to go live here and see if anyone will join on the short form. All right, and no matter how many times I say it's not for kids, it doesn't matter. I always get like kids showing up. I just don't have the heart to tell them that it's not a kid's channel. But they're cool. They have a lot of neat hobbies. All right. So if there are any questions, let me take a look at my phone over here. All right. All right, and like if there are any questions, you are more than welcome to ask. I don't think I've had any viewers as of yet. All right, welcome to the channel. If you got any questions, feel free to ask. Thanks for the like already. Appreciate that. Yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm just hopping online for another hour today. See if anyone had any questions about life insurance or any questions, complaints, or anything like that. Primary focus is parents with kids under 18. I think those are the people that should have life insurance the most. But I am more than qualified to help senior citizens as well. I know if you are a senior citizen, you do get a lot of runaround. So any question at all? I'm also live in the other format too, so feel free to ask any questions you have. Quiet room. All right, 5 people. 5 people, 1 question. Come on, 1 question. What you got? Anybody? All right, welcome to the channel. If you have any questions, you are more than welcome to ask. Just hopped online for another hour here. Just answering any life insurance questions that might come up. Primary focus is parents who have kids, under the age of 18. Those are the people that need the life insurance the most. So, but I can answer any questions from senior citizens, anything like that. If you get the runaround, you're a senior citizen, I can tell you why and how to avoid that, if that is a question. Or if you're a parent, you want to know how to get life insurance real fast, also can answer that, or how much it might cost. Or if you want to scream about the life insurance industry, believe me, I've got more complaints than anyone about the industry. So. All right. Martin Jean, thank you for the, I'm not sure exactly what that is, but I do appreciate it. Hope everybody's having a great night. And it is officially the weekend. It's Saturday on the East Coast here. I think if you're on the West Coast, you got a few more hours. And if you're in Hawaii, you're probably just getting home from work. I do have a few clients in Hawaii. Great people, by the way. I don't know if you guys have ever been to Hawaii, but it is fantastic. Hey, how are you? Hey, Chasm, is that right? Hope you're having a great night. Do you have any questions, or you just scrolling through YouTube? Sometimes you find some interesting characters on YouTube. And if you do have questions, you can always send them to my Facebook page as well. There is a messenger feature. All of my contact information is on both of those pages. Oh, I'm great. Demon Slayer? No, not a lawyer. No, no. I'm in a more hated profession than law. I'm in life insurance. Lawyers are hated about right here. Life insurance agents are about here as far as the hatred. Or I guess the other way. Life insurance is hated up here. Lawyers are right there. So I think life insurance agents are probably hated more than lawyers. Unless you're getting a divorce, then it's probably definitely lawyers. You got Facebook and you're 7? Okay. Well, congratulations on being 7. It's a great age. Yeah, Veronica. Me, I'm out of South Carolina, but I'm licensed in almost all of the states, with the exception of New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, Rhode Island, like the Northeast. Yeah, those are the states. But if you do live in any of those states, I can point you to someone who can help you, or I can still answer your questions. I just wouldn't be your agent. So. But yeah, most of the states outside of those, the northeastern ones. No, just because of the population and. Oh, you're in Florida? Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely licensed in Florida. A lot of clients in Florida. Florida gets wild. Gets wild. It's been a few years since I've been, but I love how all of the backyards have those fences around the pool, like those like nets and everything. I thought that was neat. I think the last time I went to Florida, I went to what's that city that's really close to Disney, or kind of close? Was it Stanford City? I think I was there for a week or two. I think it's Stanford. Can't remember the name of it, but yeah, Orlando. Yeah, I've been to Orlando, but I was staying in a city that was close to Orlando. Let's see. Yeah, it was fun. Orlando is fun. I haven't been to Disney in a while. I think my daughter was like maybe 8 years old when last time I went. So it's been about 15 years. Yeah, I'm not even sure how much it costs to get in Disney anymore. How much is? Let me take a look. How much is? I've got the internet. I can find out how much it costs. It looks like it's 119 to 209 per adult. Okay. Okay. Oh yeah, I wish I was in my mid 30s. That would be fantastic. I'm in my late 40s. Yeah, I miss mid 30s. I feel like I'm 25, but you know. Well, thank you. How old are you? What's that? What's that? Venom Canines 7063. How old are you? 24. Okay. Oh, you're still a baby. Still really young. Yeah, 24 is a good age. Yeah, I miss 24. There you go. Close this out. Pull up the chat here on the computer so I can see it a little bit better. Yeah, 24, like that's like right out of college or just finished with college or, you know, yeah, you just finished with college or you decide to do something else besides college. You're in university? Are you in the States? Oh, you are. Yeah, you're in Florida. That's right. Don't hear many people calling it uni anymore. In college, I lived with a lot of international students. I was the only American. They had people from France, Japan, Bulgaria, Ukraine, China. Let's see, Spain. There's a bunch of kids all over the world, and one kid from North Africa. I don't know what country in North Africa he was from, but Caribbean. No, I haven't been to the Caribbean. Let's see. Always wanted to take one of those cruises, but never got a chance. My wife hated the cruises, so she would not go. But yeah, 24 years old. So, okay. What is venom canines? I don't know what that means. That's a cool name though. Yeah, if anyone has any questions about life insurance, feel free to ask. Just here chatting, seeing if any parents, and I'm finally got someone over 18 on the chat. That's good. Yeah, Tampa. Oh wow, Tampa I've heard is wild. I heard Tampa is a wild place. I think I've been to Pensacola when I was in college. Apparently we took a road trip one week. How far is Pensacola from Tampa? Okay, it's a long way. It's a long way away. Yeah, welcome to the chat, everybody. If you do have any questions about life insurance, you are more than welcome to chime in. I'm just chatting with my friend from Florida here. Oh, come to Tampa. Yeah, but Tampa is fun. What was it like when you guys won the Super Bowl? That was a few years back, right? When was that? Super Bowl 56, 57? You need to remove your legal name from YouTube. Yeah, probably. Probably. You know, I don't know. Some weird people out there. But I'm glad you're over 18. I get a lot of kids hop in here, which they have great conversation. They teach me about this game called Roblox. I mean, I don't play, but you know they are entertaining. But I always put like the video description. No, it's not for kids, but you know they're persistent, I suppose. So, do you have any kids there, canines? You're 24. You might have kids. It's in my college account, so when I went to uni, I forgot to change it. Okay. No kids yet? Okay. Are you planning on having kids? They're fun, you know? Oh yeah, the economy. Yeah, it's rough, isn't it? The economy is a killer. I don't know if inflation's ever going to stop being a thing. You know, it seems like no matter what administration you get, they're always printing more money and spending it elsewhere. But it is possible to get it under control at some point. But yeah, I think like kids were saying that when they were people my age, when they were your age, were saying the same thing with this economy. It seems to be common. Oh, you have yet to get life insurance? Well, if you don't have any kids, I'm not sure if would you need it. What do you think you would need it? I mean, it doesn't hurt to have it for sure, but let me see. You're 24. Let me take a look. Yeah, let's get. Yeah, well, for that part of it, the building assets part of it, I wouldn't recommend those types of policies. You know, they're super expensive. You know, more likely you're talking about like a whole life or an index universal life insurance policy. I mean, they're cool to a point, but they are hyper expensive, right? So several $100s a month, and they're supposed to build up cash value over time. The first 3 years, you build no cash value in it. It's all for fees, like the commission to the agent and to the insurance company. After the third year or so, you start building up cash for sure. And then after that, it starts building up based on the market. So if the market goes up, your money goes up to a point. If the market goes up 10%, your money will go up 10%. If the market goes down, your money still stays the same. But if you get one of those types of policies, just be aware it's going to be really expensive for one, and you also want to make sure you work with someone who sets it up properly. I stay away from those personally. Like my primary focus is, getting people life insurance to cover things that need to be covered, like the mortgage or raising the kids, stuff like that. So the ones I get people are drastically less expensive. And what I found, if people take the money that they save by getting this type of policy and they invest it themselves, then they would have more money in the long haul. Yeah, yeah. I mean, you see a lot of that on TikTok and on Instagram about the infinite banking. And there's a certain aspects of it that are true. Like if it's set up properly, it couldn't necessarily be a bad thing. But if it's not set up right, then you could potentially lose a lot of money because there are fees associated with it every year, right? So you've got a bucket, and that bucket's going to have a hole in the bottom of it. Now, if it's set up properly, it's going to be a little tiny hole, right? And you're going to be putting water in it every year, but you're going to be losing money, but it's okay because you're putting a lot more in than you're losing. But if an agent sets it up incorrectly, that bucket is going to have a giant hole in it, and eventually you're not going to have any money. So be careful if you do get one of those. Make sure that no one pushes you into it, that you get a chance to do your research and you get all that set up. So that's my piece of advice. And if you meet someone who just started doing that, do not do it. Like, unless someone has several years of experience setting these things up, do not do it. Because I've seen a lot of people get their license and they're going out and they're trying to sell the infinite banking or be your own bank type stuff, and people get burned. But in their defense, the people who go out and sell it, they're only taught that of the upsides. Is it your fault for not buying a house in the 80s? I think it is. I'm going to be blunt with you. I think if you would have gotten a house in the 80s, it would have been much better today. That's on you. That's on you. Let's see. So, even though you were born in 2002, I mean, I think that's something you missed out on. Yeah, it sucks, man. It sucks like getting houses today. My daughter's looking for a house right now. Her and her husband. She's I think 23 now. Carry the one. Yep, 23. So she's looking for a house, and I think the cheapest ones here, like the starter homes, they're like $300,000. Which I think is insane for a starter house. Like back in my day, like 20 years ago, like a starter home was like $80,000 to $120,000. You could get a starter home for that, and now it's more than doubled, which is insane. You know, I did see something, and I don't know if it's going to have an impact on the housing market, but excuse me. That's a dream. That is a dream. Going to a state that's only farmland, get a cabin in the woods. Yeah. Well, if you need some dogs, I've got 3 of those. Hey, welcome to the chat, person number 2. If you have any questions about life insurance, I'm just chatting with my friend here from Florida, but you're more than welcome. Oh God, it is. Yes. I live about 20 or about 30 miles, not 20, 30 miles, about 30 minutes south of Charlotte in a city called York, South Carolina. And when I moved here, it was just like the small community, just like really, really small. And there are housing developments going up everywhere, like everywhere. You know, like this house, I got it in 2000 and when did I get it? 2014, and it was a deal. It was like $200,000 in 2014. Just it's like just a 2,000 square foot house. It's got 3 acres. Uh, I got it for like $200,000. I thought it was a deal at that time, and now I think I looked it up. It's like over 500,000. It's insane, you know. Oh, is South Carolina the fastest growing state? No, please say no. Please say no. Please say it's not. All right, son of a. See, why would you want to ruin my night like that? I don't understand. Idaho's up there too, and then North Carolina and Texas. Okay. I know. It's not that I'm opposed to people, but it's just that the housing developments really don't, they're not appealing, you know? All right, time to look for property in West Virginia. No one's going there yet, right? Okay. Welcome to the chat, people. If you have any questions about life insurance, feel free to chime in. My friend here was talking about how she didn't buy a house in the 80s, and that was all her fault. You don't want it to become Austin, Texas, or Tampa? I don't mind those cities. You know, as long as they're those cities, you know? Like I think every state needs like one of those little liberal hubs in it, you know? Yeah, I think the issue is when those little hubs become like they spread. But no, I think yeah. I mean, I like going to certain cities, you know, they're fun. But yeah, I like coming back too. I like to have a nice little place where I can relax, you know. But South Carolina is the fastest growing. That is, let's see, states. South Carolina. Tennessee's number 10. Take a look at some of them. Yeah, I've never been to Kentucky. Let's see, South Carolina, Idaho, North Carolina, Texas, Utah, Delaware, Washington, Arizona, Nevada, and Tennessee are the top 10 fastest growing ones. Yeah, Kentucky always seemed like a cool state, but I've never been. Oh, okay. So what did you do in Kentucky? Horses, gambling, and not much else? Okay. Yeah, the horses are cool. I really like horses. They're second to dogs as far as animals are concerned, I think. They are right up there. Oh, an internship? Did they pay you at least? or was it just like a unpaid internship? All right, welcome to the chat. Chat, guys. If you have any questions about life insurance or anything else, feel free to chime in. Um, yeah, taxes are going to take that. They're going to get their cut for sure. Well, let's see here. 2K a month and then taxes. Okay. So what are you studying at university? Or are you done? You graduated? You still taking classes? Oh, right now it is 12:40 a.m. Eastern. What is some life insurance advice you would give me, Jackson? Sure, man. What are you kind of looking for? Are you looking for something, or I guess, are you looking for something to cover your mortgage, or do you have young kids, anything like that? Yeah, I don't sleep very much. I sleep like 4 hours a day. Yeah, Jackson, just let me know what kind of what you're looking to cover. Are you looking to cover no mortgage or anything like that? Are you looking something to cover burial or cremation? Or if you have kids, you have young kids? Let me actually put my link in here. Now, if you're young and you what to do or not to do, well, first you'd have to. I would avoid going online and filling out those online forms. First of all, man, like 90% of those advertisements you see are absolutely fake. They're just designed to get your phone number and to call you nonstop. It depends on your age and what you're looking for, really. So if you're younger and you've got kids, a mortgage, you've got a lot of responsibility, people depend on your income, right? So you would be looking for a term policy, which expires after a certain period of time, but it's a much larger coverage amount for a much smaller rate. And while you're raising your kids, while you're paying off the mortgage, while you're building up your retirement account, the term policy is there to make sure if something happens to you that your family's taken care of. So that would be when you would get a term policy. A whole life policy, in my opinion, it's best suited for senior citizens looking to cover the costs of a burial or a cremation, right? Now, there are other types of insurance out there like the index universal life insurance. You probably saw it on TikTok or Instagram. Talking about infinite banking, I'd stay away from those unless you do a lot of research and find the right person. Um, they talk about the sunshine and rainbows, but they don't talk about the downside of it. Those are typically much, much, much more expensive. And for the first 3 years, you're paying fees. You're not making any money in the first 3 years. So my recommendation is to find out kind of what you're looking for. Like if you need a large amount of coverage for your family in case something happens to you, like income replacement, I would go with a term policy. They're really inexpensive. And here is my link where you can get a quote. This is from Banner Term. In my opinion, this is the best company in the U.S. as far as term. As far as what not to do, I wouldn't work with someone who just says they're a friend of the family, right? Don't do that. If you're online, don't give out your information. Uh, there's a lot of things. Don't let them upsell you, right? It doesn't have to be more expensive than it should be. Like we work off commission, right? So if someone sells you a $30 policy, they're going to get their commission based on that $30 a month. If someone sells you a $200 policy, they're going to get their commission based on that $200. So just be careful of all the add-ons that they throw at you. Most of them you don't need. I would make it as simple as possible. Get the amount of coverage that you need. Typically, if you've got a family of two or three, $500,000 is a good place to start. The recommendation is to get 10 to 12 times your income. Yeah. The reason why is because once you invest that, if something happens to you and it's invested, your family can live off the interest, and that will replace your income. So, yeah, there's tons of things out there. I would really have to know kind of what you were looking to cover, to give you better advice. But I guess the biggest thing is stick to term if you're young and you need a lot of coverage. Stick to whole life if you're looking to cover the cost of your burial cremation. From there, as far as term companies, my recommendations would be the one I put in there. That's my favorite, Banner Term. That's my personal agent link. As far as term, Protective, Pacific, there are a lot of good ones in there. All right, Veronica. Well, you have a good night, and I apologize that you didn't buy a house in the 80s. Still going to blame you for that. All right, so yeah, Jackson, if you can give me some more information, or if you want to send me a message on Facebook, it's the Life Insurance Man, and give me some more information about your situation, I can either help you or point you in the right direction. I can actually log into Facebook too, so I can get messages. There we go. I am in Facebook now. So if you want to send me a little more a little more information about your situation, like what you're kind of hoping to accomplish with it, and I can kind of give you better information. Because right now I'm just like doing the shotgun approach and trying to throw everything at you. All right, I'm going to close out the other live stream. And let me put. I can actually put in my. I can put in my Facebook account here and see if I can share that. See if this pops up. Lucy Jackson? Probably did. And once I start talking, I can talk about life insurance all day, but I know most people cannot. But here's my Facebook profile. And if you want to send me a message, you're more than welcome to do that. And I can try to give you more information, tailored to your needs. But you're too young. How old are you? How old are you, Jackson? Yeah, you don't need it. Yeah, you're 14. You're 14, dude. You don't need life insurance. I appreciate the mindset, though, man. I appreciate the mindset. Like getting it young, that's a great move. Once you have kids, man, get some life insurance, or once you get married or get a house, get some then. But right now, you're good. You should be living life. What are you doing online on the life insurance channel, dude? It's like you should be out having fun, hanging out with some friends or something. Or you can tell your parents to get some, but hey, they probably already do. I'm assuming they do. But if they don't, tell them you know a really good agent. All right. Any other questions? There's another person in here. Any questions about life insurance? Specialize in helping parents with kids under 18 get life insurance, but I can also help senior citizens or anyone else. It's really an open forum in here. Let me see, pin this. All right, any questions at all? Jackson, once he gets married, he's going to get life insurance. But he's 14 right now, so he's going to hold off for at least another 4 years until the marriage. All right, any questions at all? Fair game. Yeah. Hey, I got 5 likes. It's nice. Thank you, guys. Appreciate that. I know life insurance isn't the most interesting topic, so. But any questions whatsoever, you are more than welcome to ask. All right, and I lost that other person. All right. I need to stop streaming on the other one. I'm sorry, guys. I need to stop.